to connect a region of over 600 million bridges between our lands.
Good evening, I'm Alma Angeles and you're watching ASEANINFOCUS on tonight's headlines. We bring you an urgent update from Auckland, New Zealand. Today, a horrifying incident took place at a construction site where a gunman opened fire, claiming the lives of at least 3 people. According to the New Zealand police, the shooter himself was among the deceased. The shooting took place in a square near the hotel where the Philippine women's national football team is staying. In a stunning turn of events, the bid of Thai reformist Pita Limjaroenrat to be nominated as the Prime Minister has come to an end. The UN Refugee Agency expressed grave concern over the growing hunger crisis faced by Rohingya refugees residing in Cox's Bazar. The agency reported that the refugees are grappling with severe food shortages following the latest round of ration cuts. And here in the country, hundreds of enthusiastic Barbie fans dressed in pink gathered to express their joy and relief at the long-awaited opening of the film featuring the famous doll. The movie faced potential banning, causing anxiety among fans, but it has now been given the green light to be shown in the country. And today we bring you an urgent update from Auckland, New Zealand. A horrifying incident took place at a construction site where a gunman opened fire, claiming the lives of at least 3 people. Now, according to the New Zealand police, the shooter himself was among the deceased. Prime Minister Chris Hipkins addressed the nation to reassure that there is no national security threat. He also stated that the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup, set to commence later today in New Zealand with matches scheduled across the country, will proceed as planned.
It's with deep sorrow that I can confirm that 2 people have been killed. At this stage, I'm aware that 6 others have been injured, including police. They've been taken to Auckland Hospital. Police have also confirmed that the shooter is also dead. The assessment from officials is that there is no national security risk. There is no change to New Zealand's national security threat level. This is the information that we're able to share so far. The offender was armed with a pump-action shotgun. He moved through the building site, discharging the firearm as he went. Upon reaching the upper levels of the building, the man contained himself in an elevator. Shots were fired and he was located a short time later. I want to thank the brave men and women of the New Zealand Police who ran into the gunfire straight into harm's way in order to save the lives of others. These kind of situations move fast, and the actions of those who risk their lives to save others are nothing short of heroic.
Now, the shooting took place in a square near the hotel where the Philippine women's national football team is staying. Norway's team, who are scheduled to play New Zealand in the opening match of the FIFA Women's World Cup on Thursday, are merely 300 meters away from the incident location. The Philippines women's team is scheduled to play its first match of the tournament against France on Friday. And we're now tuning in to the media briefing in Auckland with Commissioner Andrew Coster, providing an update on the shooting incident.
The offender made his way up through the building site, discharging his firearm on multiple occasions. Police entered the building within 10 minutes.
The Commissioner highlights the swift response of the police.
Staff from various groups right across Tamaki Makaurau responded, and members of the public inside the building were evacuated wherever possible. We know that several workers found refuge hiding inside the building during the event.
The police chief now reassures the public about the situation.
However, we can provide reassurance that there is no reason for ongoing concern about this situation. There is an increased police presence in the area, and we reassure the public that they can continue to come into the central city. We're satisfied there's no ongoing risk to the public and no reason why the tournament should not proceed. The matches are safe to attend.
The Commissioner sheds light on the perpetrator's background.
I can confirm that the offender is the subject of a sentence of home detention. However, he had an exemption to work at the site, and so there's no indication at this stage of a breach of those conditions.
So he wasn't breaching conditions if he went to work and his work was at the site?
We don't believe so.
And that was Commissioner Andrew Coster of the New Zealand Police providing updates on the tragic shooting incident in Auckland. He assures the public that the area is safe and there's no ongoing risk to the community. Meanwhile, in a stunning turn of events, the bid of Thai reformist Pita Limjaroenrat to be nominated as the Prime Minister has come to an end, leaving his supporters outraged and disappointed. Despite his victory in May's election, the 42-year-old faced numerous obstacles that led to the ultimate blocking of his appointment. Initially, Pita was dramatically suspended from Parliament by the Constitutional Court, forcing him to exit the debating chamber. Subsequently, lawmakers decided to obstruct a second vote on his candidacy for the premiership. The Move Forward Party leader had emerged triumphant in the general election, with voters expressing their rejection of years of military rule and endorsing his reformist agenda. The coalition backing Pita is now anticipated to rally behind property tycoon Sretha Thavisin, positioning him as a prominent candidate for the prime ministerial role. This development could potentially relegate Mr. Pita's Move Forward Party to serve in opposition. Sretha Thavisin's Pheu Thai party has often been viewed as a vehicle for the influential Shinawat political clan, which includes two former prime ministers ousted by military coups in 2006 and 2014. Despite this association, the 60-year-old tycoon is perceived as a viable compromise acceptable to the Thai elite, given his successful track record as an entrepreneur and his amiable reputation among fellow business leaders. Today, the UN Refugee Agency expressed grave concern over the growing hunger crisis faced by Rohingya refugees residing in Cox's Bazar. The agency reported that the refugees are grappling with severe food shortages following the latest round of ration cuts, attributing the reductions to funding shortfalls.
And our colleagues at the Refugee Agency said today that Rohingya refugees in Cox's Bazar are facing hunger after the latest ration cuts. This is the second cut to their food rations in 3 months. Faced with funding shortfalls that we talk about almost every day here, the World Food Programme has had to make difficult choices to sustain food assistance until the end of the year. In March, the value of food vouchers for camp residents was reduced from $12 per person per month to $10, and in June to $8. That's 27 cents per day. The cuts came just weeks after thousands of refugees lost their temporary homes because of Cyclone Mocha and a major fire, as you'll recall, in Cox's Bazar earlier in the year. UNHCR said that more and more humanitarian agencies are being forced to continue only with the most critical interventions. That means basic needs are being unmet.
In today's other news, President Marcos Jr. acknowledged that he was aware of the meeting between former President Rodrigo Duterte and Chinese President Xi Jinping. He expressed hope that his predecessor would facilitate a new channel of communication to address unresolved issues between the Philippines and China. Speaking at the launch of the government's food stamp program in Tondo, Manila, the president emphasized that Duterte did not require his permission to meet with the president of China, as the encounter was regarded as an interaction between friends.
Nagpermiso pa, hindi naman kailangan. Alam ko naman ang pupunta siya. At magkaibigan sila, magkakilala sila. So, I hope that napag-usapan nila yung mga issue na ngayon na mga nakikita natin, yung mga shadowing, yung mga kung ano-ano, all of these things that we are seeing now, I hope na napag-usapan nila.
Nonetheless, he stated that he would welcome any insights or input from the former leader in the days ahead.
Hindi importante sa akin kung sino, kung ano, basta may makausap sila, baka makatulong eh. So I hope, I am sure that that he will have a hindi naman report, but I'm sure he will be able to tell us what happened during the conversation.
The chief executive emphasized the significance of establishing new lines of communication between the two countries, underscoring that it doesn't matter which party initiates the talks.
Para naman magkaroon tayo ng progress, kasi yun naman talagang habol natin, patuloy ang pag-uusap. Kaya I welcome any new lines of communication. If that is President PRRD, then good.
Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen has passed the party flag to his eldest son, Hun Manet. While no fixed date has been set for a transfer of power, the 45-year-old Hun Manet has been taking on some of his father's campaign duties this year. Our political analyst Virak O weighs in on this development.
The problem is he's been spoon-fed, you know, mostly with a golden spoon. So he's been fed, he's been delivered. Everything seems to be that way, you know. And the question in the minds of observers and the people, whether has always been whether he earned what he got. You put them in the ring, they're gonna knock out in the first round. So you have to really allow them to fight, to spar, to survive, right, and to get back up, to get.
Prime Minister Hun Sen's political journey has been shaped by his experiences of revolution and war during the genocidal Khmer Rouge regime. Now, these privations molded him into one of the most effective and most ruthless politicians of his generation, propelling him to the prime ministership in 1985 at the young age of 32. And since then, he has consolidated his power by dealing with opponents in various ways.
And if you look at Hun Sen's records, he adapts constantly. He constantly learning. He understands world events without formal education, and he can actually read politics really, really well. And over the past 30 years, he has ruled with an iron fist. He has cracked down on opposition, civil society, human rights activists, also restricting media space.
On the other hand, his son, Hun Manet, has led a different life, raised in luxury and educated abroad, including attending the prestigious U.S. military academy, West Point.
But Hun Manet will have to make to become his own man, his own person, his own leadership. I mean, his own leader as a leader. He has to put his own stamp, and that will come from understanding who he is in the new world.
News from Hawaii, where more than 1 million residents are now under a state of emergency as post-tropical storm Calvin threatens the islands, according to the National Weather Service, reporting that the storm approached Hawaii's Big Island with wind speeds reaching up to 45 miles per hour or 73 kilometers per hour. On Wednesday, the WNS downgraded Calvin from a tropical storm as it started moving south of the state. Despite the downgrade, officials are not taking any chances as flash floods and mudslides remain a significant risk. The storm's trajectory has it passing south of Hawaii County this evening, bringing with it dangerous surf and damaging winds. The National Weather Service is warning that up to 10 inches of rain is expected to fall through Thursday, which could further exacerbate flooding and hazardous conditions on the islands.
Aloha everyone, Governor Green here. Just wanted to give everyone a quick update on Tropical Storm Calvin. First of all, please be careful, especially on Big Island. Tonight, the winds will be up. They will be as high as 60 miles per hour with some additional gusts. That kind of wind can move debris around. It's unsafe. So please be very careful at home. The difference between a tropical storm and a hurricane is the wind speed. Wind speed is much higher for hurricanes, but I'll tell you, these tropical storms can be dangerous. Also expect a lot of rain. 4 to 8 inches of rain or even more on Big Island are likely to occur, especially in areas where my old home was, down in Ka'u, in Pahoa, maybe even wrapping around towards the west side. I spoke with the FEMA director today. They're prepared to support us in case of a big disaster. Also, I've been on the phone, of course, with all of our team. Mayor Ross doing a great job. We're all prepared to deal with what comes. Lots of rain. There could be mudslides. There could be dangerous.
And we have an important development here in the country as the National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA board, under the leadership of President Marcos Jr., made a significant stride in infrastructure development by approving 3 new projects. The approval includes the much-anticipated rehabilitation of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. In a press briefing held at Malacanang after their 7th meeting, NEDA Director General Arsenio Balisacan announced the board's decision to greenlight the solicited proposal for the comprehensive rehabilitation operation expansion and transfer of NAIA.
This project is under the Department of Transportation and the Manila International Airport Authority. With a total project cost of 170.6 billion pesos. The goal of the project is to address long-standing issues at NAIA, such as the inadequate capacity or passenger terminal buildings and restricted aircraft movement. It aims to increase the current annual airport capacity from 35 million to at least 62 million passengers. We are in a hurry to improve to address the issues there in the terminal, because as you have noted, tourism is one of the main drivers of the Philippine economy in the coming years, and we want to ensure that tourists who come here have a good experience.
The rehabilitation of NAIA has long been awaited and is a crucial step in enhancing the country's aviation infrastructure, addressing current challenges, and providing a more efficient and modern gateway for travelers. In addition to the approved rehabilitation of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, the NEDA board has given the green light to 2 other crucial projects.
Today, the NEDA board approved 3 new infrastructure projects, while also approving changes to 4 ongoing projects, particularly in disaster risk reduction and climate change, irrigation, and transportation. Moreover, the NEDA board also approved the unsolicited proposal for the upgrade, expansion, operation, and maintenance of the Laguindingan International Airport project, known as the Unsolicited Laguindingan Airport PPP project, located in Misamis Oriental.
NEDA has officially confirmed its intention to adopt a national policy regarding infrastructure sector master plans.
The policy aims to harmonize and rationalize the formulation of master plans for the infrastructure sector across the government. This is to ensure that the master plans are coordinated, synergistic, responsive to emerging issues, and consistent with the sector's priority development challenges or strategies.
In tonight's other news, the Boracay precinct in the National Capital District of Papua New Guinea has taken center stage in its quest for robust transportation or transformation. Once renowned as a vibrant hub of commercial activities, the area now stands as a top priority for significant development initiatives. Eco Ortelesa Quinola reports.
Prime Minister James Marape graces the launching of the Boracay Precinct Transformation. The National Capital District of Papua New Guinea prioritizes the robust transformation of Boracay. This place was once tagged as an enterprising hub engaged in commercial activities. The development agenda of Governor Powes Parkup and City Manager Rahul Frank and all the stakeholders for the Boracay transformation has resulted in a whole government approach that leads to the development of the industry, businesses, and economic and social growth. Boracay is also declared as betel nut free zone.
Under my watch, Prime Minister, we have done and doing all we can to put in place the mechanism, the intervention, the development pathway, the different platforms by which we can really transform our capital city and make it truly a national capital that be the pride of our nation, our people, be the hub that unites us, creates a fusion for all our people to come together and dream big.
Prime Minister James Marape endorses the vision of Governor Parkop in creating Port Moresby as the premier city in the Pacific come 2030. The national government commits 20 million kina for the citywide security cameras to ensure safety and security in Boroko.
Let's help together, work together side by side, build Boroko, take back Boroko to where it was before, build it up better, take our city and build up better. This is our only one capital city. Let's make it livable and nice for every one of us. Giving respect to the indigenous community, the Motu Koitas, station them where they belong, preserve them, respect them, appreciate Central people and Gulf people, and rest of us coexist as one people, one country, one nation. We are working for each and every one of you. Rise up, help your governor, help your government. Let's make Port Moresby and Boroko a better place.
Meanwhile, road infrastructure development continues in the capital city of Papua New Guinea. A 4-lane road that connects 9-mile PAU to the Central Province and National Capital District. The 7.5-kilometer road is worth 117 million, a 3-year in the making by a local contractor, Mobile Works. Prime Minister James Marape inaugurates the launching of this masterpiece that helps motorists to get to their destination easily and comfortably. The National Capital District Governor Poes Parkop visualized this road construction as an alternative route to thousands of vehicles daily. This will also help to speed up the delivery of goods and commerce. The governor also announces the full completion of other roads rehabilitation and transformation. Port Moresby is the forefront in promoting the beauty of Papua New Guinea. The capital city is also the most active advocate of developing a stronger sense of pride amongst Papua New Guineans.
Eko Hortaleza Quinola, Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, Eagle News, we live in extraordinary times.
The world is about to be hit by a pink tsunami as the new Barbie movie opens with a vast marketing campaign. The film, directed by Greta Gerwig and starring Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken, has been met with mixed reactions. Some critics have accused Barbie of brainwashing generations of young girls with an unattainable ideal of beauty and thinness. Others see her as a figure of female emancipation, pointing to characters like astronaut Barbie and Barbie the Surgeon. Chinese-born Simi Liu, who plays one of the many Kens in the movie, said he admired how Gerwig doesn't shy away from some of the criticisms of Barbie.
And I feel like that's the mark of a very strong filmmaker is when they are able to not shy away from difficult conversations and to make a movie and tell a story that is nuanced and honest and is able to tap into the zeitgeist of what the world is feeling, but still do it and wrap it in an air of optimism and hope.
And you kind of have to see it to really understand how much this movie is packing in. There's so much joy and it's hilarious, it's very clever, it's got a lot to say, it's a crazy ride, it's visually spectacular, it really is unique. I cannot think of another movie that's like it.
Mattel, the makers of Barbie, seem happy to be cast as cartoon baddies in the trailer for the film. They are counting on the blockbuster to give their lodestar toy some girl power cred. Now, the Barbie movie is scheduled to be released in theaters on July 21. And we have a special report from the Philippines where hundreds of enthusiastic Barbie fans dressed in pink gathered to express their joy and relief at the long-awaited opening of the film featuring the famous doll. The movie faced potential banning, causing anxiety among fans, but it has now been given the green light to be shown here in the country. The fantasy comedy film drew intense scrutiny from censors due to allegations surrounding a brightly colored world map, which some believe depicted China's claims to the disputed South China Sea. China asserts almost the entire waterway despite competing claims from other Southeast Asian countries, including the Philippines and Vietnam. While Vietnam chose to ban the movie, the Philippines Movie and Television Review and Classification Board, or MTRCB, came to a different decision last week. They concluded that the childlike lines on the map did not represent China's controversial 9-dash line, which illustrates its territorial claims, thereby giving the film the green light for screening.
I was really hoping that they wouldn't ban it, or they would just cut the scene. But as I saw, they didn't really do anything with it. And I was looking through the map that my first thought was that it was made by a child. It was supposed to be a childlike map.
Outside the theater, the atmosphere was filled with excitement as fans posed for photos at a Barbie booth, basking in the fuchsia-tinted lighting. Some even brought their cherished Barbie dolls to share the experience.
Very nice po siya. Matagal na po namin hinintay actually. And nung napanood na namin, maganda siyang panoorin, especially ng mga women, pati mga mga girls, kasi very empowering siya.
I feel like every girl can say naman na they're a Barbie fan, and I grew up watching a lot of her movies. My favorite was yung 12 Dancing Princesses, kaya I'm very looking forward to watching the movie.
While the MTRCB had requested Warner Brothers, the Hollywood studio behind the film, to blur the contentious lines to avoid misinterpretations, AFP correspondents who watched the movie reported that the lines remain clearly defined. Now, responding to questions about the unaltered lines, the MTRCB referred AFP to their July 12 statement, explaining that the map was a make-believe journey of Barbie from Barbie land to the real world and a vital part of the story. And there you go. As my usual habit, I'd like to end the day on a positive note. Let's encourage and build each other up so that no one is left behind. And that's it for tonight's broadcast. I'm Alma Angela. Stay in the news because we live in extraordinary times. Good night.